Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the year's most popular episode of Untier Talk, where we power rank PUPL teams. It's like 10 p.m. on the day of the draft, 10 p.m. EST, I should say. And to power rank, we've got Hajad here, obviously, but also Specs and False, and it's just going to be a grand old time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some water. I'll be right back.
Good
The
start.
icon's getting water. Yes.
Really good start. While he's getting water,
Big information.
yeah, while he's getting water, I'll briefly say that there's probably going to be a VR update later tonight, early tomorrow. This might even go before the update, depending on it's just been busy getting that out in the middle of PUPL and stuff. But that we're not gonna cover that right now because PUPL is a big deal. That yeah, that was the only other newsy thing that I really wanted to cover. So it feels weird to start this without false, but we can start. You should see on the screen the draft, but with all the trades in and stuff. I'm actually gonna drop that in the SMPU chat, in the SSPU chat, real quick as well for people to just use. And we're just going to go through the teams. We have a generally agreed upon ranking between the four of us, and we'll just talk about them from last to first. Hey, false. We're just wrapping up the intro.
Oh god.
I don't think that's gonna sound good at all. Eighth, the worst team that we think. Octilleries. Yeah.
Hell fucking yeah.
Yeah, the Octilleries have some good people. They have Kushalos. That's like 8 wins in how many weeks is this? 7 weeks? Yeah, 8 wins in 7 weeks. I think that's pretty fair.
Wait, he doesn't have to have someone to build for him in order to be able to get wins?
He's got Royesk, Blue IM, ZS.
Old teams.
Old teams, yeah.
Playing.
Yeah.
He can't build.
Kushalos is a star. They've got you, obviously, false, the SMPU champion. They've
I'm
got.
not playing though.
They've got King.
I'm not.
We'll maybe not. I have no idea. We'll see what happens. There's Somalia, who's been in the tier a lot. Yeezy's like a well-known tour player. Lockjaw been around for a while.
Yeezy's actually good. He's fire.
And King Why Not will cheese at least an even black-white record, I'm sure. It's not that this team doesn't have good players. It's that nothing really sticks together here. It's very weird. Like False said, support for Kushalos is especially awkward.
I value synergy a lot, and I just don't think there's any here.
It's like
I guess like Roy-esque Avarice.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of. You might as well have picked this team via RNG because there's very little in the way of I guess friendliness or people. And it could turn out really badly. Like the lows for this team are really low, which is why they're last. But honestly, I'm quite positive about this team. No team that's ever been ranked last ever finishes last. Mm-hmm. That's like the one rule of Pokemon. So I wouldn't. Hey, but I'm at history, baby.
Yeah, I do think it also hurt Tone. Like, Tone had a better thing going before the trades, and I know some of the trades were just to benefit other people. Esta went to Manny's team in exchange for Lockjaw, who is a more individual player compared to, I think, Esta just builds a lot. Losing Ziri as well, I think, is just a more valuable player on the kind of team Tone has, so that's just unfortunate. And he also saved some credits in tribute to Chris Loud, and that is cool, but also definitely hurts his draft and should get mentioned. So yeah, they've got some really passionate people though. Like I know at least Somalia, Blue IM, ZS, all people who have like big investment in the tier right now. Royesk is like good if he's not way too busy. I think he's really busy, but still, we'll see.
He's really busy and also was like one of the most expensive players, and he's not starting, which is really baffling.
Most expensive players on his team. He wasn't actually that expensive overall.
But yeah, no, he was like I think 9. Like they only bought 2 expensive players, and it was
And one of them was Ziri,
Ziri,
who
who
got
then got
traded.
traded.
Yeah, Tone
And the
bought
other one was him at
Ziri.
9K.
Tone bought Ziri for 25K, and then his next most expensive was Royesk at 8.5K.
He was 9, wasn't he? I was 8.
Royesk
Yeah,
was
Somali
8.
was like 7.5.
I've got all the prices here.
Shit.
Yeah, here I'll
It's a
link.
bargain.
I'll link you the just scroll down there. The prices are all there. Yeah, Tone saved a lot of money in the draft very early on, and when we were spectating it, we're all like, "Oh, he's gonna, I don't know, going hard on like Soul Gazer. He could have gotten Soul Gazer. He had the most money by far, but he didn't. He saved money for a lot of people that he ended up getting pretty cheap anyway, and didn't really need all that cash for. So it was a bit of a
Like,
weird
he's the
draft.
whole draft being conservative. So, like, he has one big buy and then tons of middling players. Like, every other team pretty much has 2 players that are expensive. This is the only team with only 1 because he didn't want to bid on anyone else with fear of running out of money. And it's very apparent if you compare like the structure of team builds and the amount of money spent. Like, this team lacks a secondary top player because he was afraid to spend the.
Yeah, he's got good players, but he doesn't have a. He's got a good team. He doesn't have like a big broken team with lots of stacked threats. It's like the pit of the PUPL draft for my fellow Smash
it's
Brothers
going to be
players.
tough to make any sort of like big viable team when your second most expensive player doesn't start and also doesn't build for the most common tier in the tournament. Like, that's rough.
Mm-hmm.
I rate Somalia though. Somalia and Yeezy, they can easily step up to be those top caliber players.
Yeah,
Not maybe consistently over many tours, but in one tour, I back Somalia at the very least to put up a very positive record. So
yeah.
Yeezy can. Yeezy's sick. Yeezy is so good. Like, he's gonna pop off for sure. Yeezy is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Final thing.
I don't even know him well, but he's sick.
Sorry, I want to acknowledge we're doing this before we actually have lineups, but one thing I would actually say is, interestingly enough, this team has a pretty solid old gen score, which a lot of teams like this I find generally don't. But even without spending big on that and having the big names, I think between Bughouse, Passion, and King Why Not, and also like yourself for the Oras stuff, I was thinking more Black White DPP. Uh, Old gens are not bad. There's still only 3 out of 8 slots, but they're pretty good there. So that's a definite plus. And you only need 5 wins to take a week, 4 wins to tie. So yeah.
Didn't Bughouse post saying that he didn't know anything about the old gens?
Yeah, but it's Bughouse. I do have faith that Bughouse is pretty good in them in general.
Yeah, it was a prank.
I think Roy is like some old gen stuff.
I know Bughouse has played DPP.
Buckhouse played DPP NU. He was on my NEPL team, and I can vouch.
Yeah.
He's a solid player, but
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't played DPP that much, so that would be the big difference, really.
I just wonder if he has anything to go off with that, because nobody else, as far as I know.
Yeah, we'll see. So that's the Octillery. Spend about 8 minutes on the 8th best team. Not the worst team at all. I think we've definitely had other PUPLs where the worst team was by far worse. Part of that is also moving up to 8 teams with 8 slots, is that like everyone has more space to get at least a couple big names. Like the worst looking team still has Kushalos on it. That's not nothing. Our number 7 ranked team was pretty 765. We're all kind of close around, but we ended up settling on the Clairvoyant Clay Dolls, managed by TJ, featuring a lot of current gen talent and not so much the old gens. So I think like the starting core of TJ, Katut, Skipcan, Squash, maybe Procopius if he starts and keeps doing well like he has in kickoff. I don't know. That doesn't look bad for current gen, but it looks very mainer heavy. So they need to like actually be able to beat the Finchionators and stuff of this tour. And then when it comes to old gens, I don't have a massive amount of faith in. I guess it's going to be Alcyone and Lighthouses and Drud.
Drud also.
Alcyone, Lighthouses, and Drud between Oras, Black, White, DPP, I assume, which does not fill me with as much confidence as like even the Octillery's old gens.
Yeah, this team is entirely mainers. That's crazy, bro. That is a wavy drafting strategy, right?
That is exactly
totally
that. That's
Maynard's.
what TJ wanted, though, and it's not entirely Maynard's. Like Alcyone and Lighthouses, but still, yeah.
Didn't he pick me? Big joke, bro. What the? Actually, no, they have lighthouses.
They at least have more synergy.
Mm-hmm.
Like these people know each other.
Well, all mainers, yeah. So it's like instantly more synergetic.
Yeah, and I should also say, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, TJ's getting Arusius to pass a bunch of teams. Like Arusius is basically going to be co-managing, from what I've heard. Yan Dodd is also another Arusius and Katut adjacent person. So yeah, the thing that like would put them above this number 7 slot is just having a bunch of synergy with all their people building together and getting good teams. And frankly, with SS being like this brand new meta with DLC and tier shifts happening and all that, having a bunch of people with good synergy who are going to be building a lot and working together, that absolutely counts for a lot. So they could well outperform number 7 if they just like are really on top of current gen.
Why did Lambovino get picked as his second player, and why did he outbid him?
Zero clue.
That is just so puzzling.
I don't.
Maybe. I think it might have been like, oh, who's this guy? And going so early, like he probably just wanted him just to get like everyone else noms the big hitters, and then he just noms like this small player who's not going to get bid on that much anyway.
There's no way it wasn't intentional.
Some people like panic bidded on him because they were like, "Fuck, I should know who this is."
He spent 7K on Lambovino. That's not a ton, but it's enough to go. Okay, it's not a completely random pick. Lambovino did go to round like something in kickoff. I don't think he did.
He did play in kickoff. We will confirm.
He played in kickoff. I don't think he went crazy far, but like he was in. Is Lambovino in losers? Is he in the losers round 5 matchups? No.
Oh, and so that's a 7K.
No, is he in winners round? Is he in winners round 6 though?
Actually, that was his first pick because he drafted himself.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Also, no. Okay, so he went out before. He went out by round 4 of kickoff.
Bro, what?
He must have tried out with TJ and Gunn. I'm pretty sure Lambovino's French too, so that would play into the Katut, Alcyone, Arusius, etc.
There's a whole thing going on there. It didn't really matter when he dropped out of kickoff or whatever.
Yeah, this team, to me at least, this team very much feels like a crippled mess with the whole like, oh, you're my friend, so I'm gonna buy you. TJ probably told these guys like 2 or 3 months ago, yeah, you're on my draft plan. I'm gonna buy you for PUPL. So when you put out loads of promises to people and you say, oh yeah, I'm definitely drafting, you sort of put yourself in a corner where you're sort of like, well, shit, I have to draft you now.
So you end up with a bad team.
I can see that.
The team ends up suffering.
And like, the French jerk isn't the worst way to go, considering the success Katut on his own has had in PU Tours just coming in.
It's almost.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I rate them higher than Octilleries because they have a lot of team synergy, and the potential to like perform well due to that, I think, matters a lot.
Yeah, I think.
But it's weird.
Much higher ceiling, much higher. So.
Yeah.
Sacre bleu.
There's also.
I'm not sold.
Like Skip Can and Squash also, for the most part, have had much bigger success in individuals than team tours. Like they've had pretty good PU individuals, but PUPLs there hasn't really been much there, or like other team tours. So that could be a factor for them. I don't know.
I mean, dude, the thing with individuals and the thing with PU individuals especially is that you don't get the whole Finchionators and Cushaloses like signing up to every PU individual tour, and so when you're used to playing me or like Riser or whoever. When you get the level up above that, which is like Finchionator or somebody who's, who doesn't play PU, who plays OU instead, right?
It's okay. You can say me. I am excellent.
Yeah, all play false, and then it becomes difficult to compete on that level, especially when you don't know what they're going to do. Like,
right.
A lot of OU players that bring new ideas to PU, and then suddenly, because you're preparing for a PU mainer meta, so to speak, you end up playing something a bit different to that, and you're like, whoa, what's going on? I have no idea what these Pokemon are that this person's bringing. So,
The bigger problem
That's
is
what
that
they
they just
struggle.
play better. People get shell shocked by people not giving them Pokemon and stuff. Like it's very obvious watching someone new. They'll be like, well, how do I win? He's like trying not to lose. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, it's very different.
Mm-hmm. I was also just thinking of like it's a best of 3 with a losers bracket as well. That's a very like I do way better in individuals than team tours because I often make very long losers bracket runs or like lose the first game and then kind of figure people out. So that's just another factor
Also,
to like
The
difference.
mindset is completely different.
Yeah,
Right? So
at
if
least
you
personally
lose, like, game
speaking,
one,
it's so
if you-
different.
if you
Yeah.
lose like one game, you're like, okay, I can at least like play better next time. But like in PUPL, if you like fuck up, like what are you gonna do?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, consider also that I'm not particularly high on myself as a player, and I assume TJ and at least Skipcan they were building against, or TJ, Skipcan and Eurasius, they were building to play against me in the PU circuit, and they couldn't beat me when I wasn't really preparing for them. You know, I was deliberately going into games with the same old teams, and they were struggling to beat me. So it's going to be a wonder to see how they will play against the higher caliber players. I'm not convinced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we can agree at least that like TJ and Gatut should be 2 very strong players in this. But they need to pull out 4 to 5 wins a week, and that's gonna be more tricky.
I have faith in Drud for old gens at least. He can like build two out of the
Drud is
4.
solid, yeah.
Yeah, no, Drud's good. Their old gens aren't bad. They're just also not
Yeah.
like, oh, they're gonna get a ton of wins here. Clearly,
No, like I don't think they're gonna go like 3-1 each week in like old gens, but I think they can at least like be decent support for like the Sword Shield.
yeah. They're the Sword Shield and Sun and Moon, like between them, are the biggest part of the tour and what this team is more looking to perform in.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, TJ's team feels a lot like my first draft when I was the manager for the Tidenes the first time around. Because I had Dibs, Tasker, Yogi, we all had that one team. But the thing that, honestly, the underrated thing about that team was that I had Haysub and Pablo as 2 3K buys at the very end of the auction, and both went 6-0.
Yeah.
So without those 2 players, that team would have flopped massively because it turns literally a 3-5 into a 5-3 every single week.
But how comparable is that? Because neither of those people are mainers. Like, the whole point of this squad is not a single player has any experience playing outside of...
Yeah, Procopius has had 1 PU tour, and he's he's still in, like, top 6 loser side of kickoff. But yeah, it's that kind of thing. Or PTF. Brandon, I don't actually think I've seen him play a single game of Pokemon. I mean, I know he's been playing PU. I just have not seen it and could not rate him.
Alcyon's good.
Alcyon's
At
good.
the very least. I rate Alcyon.
All right, we want to move on?
Yeah,
Yes, please.
All right, yeah. So that's number 8, Octilleries. Number 7, Claydolls. Again, 765, we ranked pretty close. Number 6 is going to be the Carcoals. Sorry, kind of lost it for a sec. The Carcoals, managed by Evagero. Another team that has a lot of, like, synergy with these people working together, but not so much in, like, the really big names that I think are guaranteed to steal wins. Evie's a good manager, clearly knew exactly who she wanted and picked up, I think, a team that's going to have a lot of solid ability to work together, a lot of motivated builders between LST, Kepi, General Annoyance, Aldo, and Llamas, and Trix. Like, that's a lot of people building and working together. But in terms of, like, really big, strong take wins names, Star. And everyone else is, like, good but not crazy.
Well. Evie went the mainer route as well. Just picked all RU mainers. Like, it's exactly the same thing as TJ, just with RU instead of PU.
Evie has more
so
PU. Evie has just as many PU mainers.
Like, LST is actually good. I rate him.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Evie plays RU. Star plays literally any tier, so you can't really put him in. Felly plays RU. Mr. Aldo plays RU. Sabella would join any PL. Atomic Llamas is from, like, RU and NU, stuff like that.
Llamas was RUTL.
Like, bag of tricks and like GA and Kepi. Like most of this is more heavy of RU players than every other tier combined.
Right.
Which is clearly because Heavy's a big in RU.
Right, but I still rate them pretty strong. Like, there's RU mainers, but Feliburn's played plenty of PU and PUPLs. I'm pretty sure Eternal Spirit has played some. Star obviously won Open. Aldo has been playing a lot of PU and hanging out in the room and building a lot. Llamas has been getting into the tier. Expulso's good. Like that's not necessarily a massive knock on the team. It's just weird to rate them. That's kind of why they had to end up at 6th, because it's kind of hard to tell what's going on there.
We discussed earlier that like they can easily pop off and like make playoffs. Like I think that this is a team that could make playoffs. But it's just kind of a question of how often will they? Like, will they pop off most weeks, or will they have a couple and just fall short for the rest?
It's this team
quite hard.
This team has Ivigara syndrome written all over it. If she can keep the entire team active, this is a top 3 team probably, because ES and Star they will go 6-0 if you give them like an active chat with loads of people preparing for them.
Mm-hmm.
They'll go 6-0 easily. I have entire faith in both of them. But if the team chat dies by week 2, then they will both go 0-6, and that's bad. You don't want that to be happening.
They won't go 0-6. They'll stop playing after a certain number of weeks.
The Star doesn't go 0-6. Even if they go inactive, Star wins his first 3. Like I rate Star very highly. I will also
be interesting to see Kepi and stuff though. That's a huge step in terms of competition. It's supposed to be one of the main faces of the current gen for this team, and that's going to be really fascinating to see whether they can flourish.
Yeah, Kepi, big builder, has lots of PU support from other mainers who like aren't drafted but will probably help. Also is in winners side of winners top 8 of kickoff. With a lot of people backing Kepi is like a big name, but this is still like their first time out, so it's they still have to perform there. I will say briefly on the activity side, one thing we haven't mentioned is the slam factor. Slam is coming up. A lot of tour players like want to just learn PU to do well in slam. So for people like Star, Sabella, maybe Eternal Spirit, or from previous teams, Yeezy Nose, and TJ doesn't really have any tour players. Kush, maybe. I don't know if Kush goes hard on slam anymore. I think that will help keep people active.
I think Evie can keep people's spirits up, especially like Kepi. So I think that if Kepi's motivated, and I've seen him play like really well when he's like on top of things. So again, I think the team can pop off.
Mm-hmm.
Evie managed to keep False's spirit up, so I'm sure she can do it with Star.
Anything's possible.
I think any of you managed.
I managed to do it somehow.
I was so tilted that week when I lost. I literally nicknamed my Pokemon like great managers and stuff. I was so mad. I nicknamed SPU support because that's what everyone said before the draft started.
The other thing, Old Gens is actually pretty nice here. LST and General Annoyance in the Black White DBP, I rate that pretty strong.
Isn't LST playing Sun and Moon?
If he does play Sun Moon, yeah, and then I guess they get someone else to Black White, and I rate that a little less strong, but LST's good either way. Still,
Llamas has played Black White in the past. I remember playing him in like PUPL 1 or PUPL 2.
He played PUPL 1, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I remember playing him in PUPL 1, and he was playing Black White then.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, their old gens are pretty, like, they're fine. They're decent as well. They're not, like, super weak there compared to, like, oh, that's clearly the weaker side of Clay Dolls. Old gens are fine here.
Also, twitch.tv/bagoftricks. Go subscribe.
Yeah, go.
Let me see how many posts he has, because he's waiting to change.
He can't. 40 or something left.
Twitch.
Wait, you need to have a certain amount of posts.
You have to have 100 posts before you can get.
Posts.
Yeah, he's at He's at 60
that's
right
rough.
now.
He just needs the twitch.tv removed. They just won't.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then people start spamming and like Firebot and stuff, and then they get banned, and so they're not allowed to change their name.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
he's been working up for it, like really just trying to post more, and he's still only at 60. I
I
feel
just
I feel
told him
bad.
to do like victim of the week every week. You get like a
Hmm.
couple free posts.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever.
You can make excuses for it.
Anything more on the Carcools?
Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom. Okay, moving along. Number 5, again ranked pretty close to Carcools, but like more strongly above Claydolls, was the Klein Gang, managed by Manny, featuring a very strong starting core, and then it kind of drops off. More of a top-heavy team.
They're very top heavy, yeah.
Yeah, Lax is pretty good in everything all the time.
Dude, Lax is the goat.
Yeah, Pablo, another goat. Piff is never bad in a team tour, really. Even Durza is pretty strong. After that, Serene Grace as well. After that, you've got like a lot of mainers who need to be able to perform. Between Monkey Sniper, Sergio, Esterossa, Toy Time King, Slowbroth, Gum, all people who like have potential to do fine, but are still less proven mainers with some like questionable results in the past.
Did you mention Ajna?
I didn't mention Ajna or Kyo as like decent team tour players, but not like crazy big team tour names. They're not like Laxes or Finches, but like they're not bad either.
I mean, Ajna kind of is, bro. Ajna is the biggest name in IU, pretty much.
In RU, but hasn't he tried to play in other team tours and like done really bad and flamed out?
I mean, sure, but he's playing against like the level of competition here is surely if he wants to win, he will. Ajna has a better baseline than
No, that's
majority of the players he'll play against.
Yeah, if anyone who's gone like 7-1 or whatever the fuck it was in SPL is like that's a good name for PU, but yeah.
If he wants it, he'll be good.
Yeah, I think that's just generally this entire team, to be honest. If you look at it, like, you have Lax, Pablo is ridiculous, Piff is incredible, Ajna is, on his day, also incredible. It's like, if you can get all of your players playing at their best, it's very scary, this team, because you have so much talent. But if it doesn't work out, like they don't mesh well with the other mainers that you have on the team, or you don't give them the support that they need, or something along those lines, it can, again, like people will just go inactive, and it will be bad for your team. So, which is why they're towards the middle area, because I think I would say it's likely, but there is like a divide in the team. There's like the mainer side and the tour playery side.
Mm-hmm.
There is a possibility that they clash or they don't mesh well.
Well, it's gonna be heavy on Gum and I guess Broth.
Esteros as well.
Oh yeah, Esta can build too. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be heavy specifically on Gum though.
Yeah. Also, Monkey Sniper is the one person who Spatial Rendezvous, who showed up like a couple weeks before PUPL, and then was just really active in Discord and tried out a lot and got himself noticed enough to get bought. Has never played like any PU tours before, so that's a interesting slot.
Yeah, this is. I think Monkey Sniper. The big thing with him is that if you're a new player, let's say you've never touched PU before, but you want to get into it and you want to get bought in PUPL, how you should go about it is exactly how he has done it, where he's been like super active. He's played lots of ladder, played lots of trial matches and stuff. Like he has put himself out there as much as possible.
Yeah, it was Telenet and Snake, same thing.
Yeah.
So I think.
It was Spider-Man and Snake, bro.
Oh, Tom Holland. Yeah, not Telenet. I'm sorry, that was Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Going from nowhere to just like getting picked up like that. Yeah, this team's cool. As far as I always bring it back to old gens, this is again a pretty strong team there. Durza has done well in TPP. Sergio and Pablo have both done well in Black White, so that's like a lot of capability to build there. Serene Grace has messed around with all of them, I think, and then like Oras isn't so bad. You could throw Kyo and Oras. I think he'd be. I rate Kyo higher than most people just because I've teamed with him before, and I'm just impressed with like his ability to throw out dumb ideas that end up making really good teams that other people just aren't thinking about. But a lot of people have like the exact opposite opinion, so maybe that means nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have much more to say on the team.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
All right. So then we'll get to the top 4 teams, the ones that are quote unquote predicted to make playoffs. Number 4, the team that both Specs and I are on, the Magic Meowstick, managed by Termi. I think she drafted a pretty cool team here. I will say, like, not to knock our team, if there's one team in the top 4 who could like crash and burn and play 7th and totally miss out on playoffs, it's probably us. I think there's a bit more of a it was weird for us to rank this team, not just because we weren't going to be objective. I think Termi, Specs, and I have done are like obviously known PU quantities, but actually don't have the craziest results all the time. Termi and I especially have been really hit or miss. And then we have some very strong tour players, but who are going to need the support to actually to like do well and be consistent. And I have a lot of faith in like if we get Rob Jr. and TSR and Bugsnader and Raichi good teams that they'll all do great, and everyone else I didn't mention. But yeah, we're gonna have to be good. I'm gonna have to be good. I hate that. I want to suck and just get carried to victory. But
You'll be good, bro. Don't worry.
That's how I draft my teams every year. It's just like I just draft all the other players that'll carry me. And then, yep, that'll do.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only reason I rated this team higher than Clang was because I actually like Termi as a manager. She was my manager last PUPL, and despite the fact that she went like 0 and 1,000, she did a really good job supporting like other good players. Like I think Rob Jr., Bugsy, and Raichi especially will all be very good, which I think is just going to be enough. There's enough talent outside of those 3 to pick up the last couple of wins, and I think just by process of elimination, they'll beat the teams below them because I genuinely trust that Tommy's ability to manage players is above the level of most other managers in the draft.
Yeah, I feel like the ceiling for this team is probably a bit lower than some of the ceilings, like of the other teams, like especially the Clan Gang. Like, there's
for sure
not the same like star power, but consistency-wise, I expect this team to be far more consistent.
Yeah. I think PU like this will be the first of the teams that the PU mains listening to this might be like, who's Lilbur, who's Bugsnader, who's Jake, who's Raichi, who's Brufasa. They're good. Also, Jake used to be Zabraikin and Brufasa used to be Fatty. If those names mean anything. Yeah, I'm looking forward to building a lot with Asa and Specs. That's gonna be fun. And bringing back to old gens, our DPP I would say is pretty strong between Specs and Brufasa, and we have a lot of people who've played Oras, but we didn't draft a dedicated like known black-white quantity. I mean, like I won Black-White Cup, but I just reused Hijad and Quite Quiet teams from like 4 years ago. That doesn't really count. So that's gonna be something we're gonna try to make work.
Yeah, and I can't touch black white, so I really dislike that tier.
Anyone can touch black white. Just hit the spikes and then mash buttons.
It's never that simple.
It's always that simple.
Dude, I've really tried to pick it up, and it doesn't mesh well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It doesn't vibe with you.
No.
I don't want to push the conversation on my own team too much, but False,
Nope.
Anything else you want to add here?
Yeah, Tommy's sick. I think this team, like, it doesn't really matter whether the baseline is that high or not, because it's never the case. Tommy's teams never have the best, like, the absolute best players on them. It's always just about the fact that the players that are there almost always show up. I think every player that was on our team from the year before, besides Tommy, was really solid in terms of like final records and stuff.
Yeah.
And guys like Brufasa, he's going to get wins. Raichi's going to get wins. Bugsy, Jake, like they're all going to win enough games to qualify. I have no this would be one of the lowest floor teams for me. I just think there's no way they'll not be good.
Mm-hmm. I also think there's going to be some slam factor there. I haven't talked to all my teammates enough, but I'm pretty sure Rob Jr., Jake, maybe Bugsy and Brufasa, maybe Raichi and Lilbur are all going to be trying to go for slam, and that just means more interest in current gen PU and not kind of just dropping off.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably also mention that Temi almost won last year as well. It came down to tiebreak finals.
Yeah. Termy's a proven manager. And that was on a team with a stupid name too. Magic Meowstick, much better. Okay, that's our number 4 team then. Moving on, number 3. Yeah, I should say when we talk about playoffs, yeah, we've moved to 4-team playoffs instead of 3-team playoffs with the expansion to 8 teams, in case anyone just didn't notice that. Anyway, number 3 team, the Loking Drakloaks, the team that went from like, this is weird, I don't know if they're going to be good, to somehow getting ranked 3rd. Like mid-draft, this team looks so weird. Tlenet was saving a bunch of money, not drafting anyone a lot. But even just like the simple switch from Teddy to Ziri changes my opinion on this team a lot, because Tlenet plus Ziri is a proven, strong, current gen core to back up like the decent other players they have with Luthier, GGOPW, Lopney Kicks. There's a lot to work with there. Haste up in the old gen star power, and then 49 and D&B probably covering the old gens, I guess. But
it should play, in my opinion. Good.
DMB is the black-white player.
Yeah. But on the other hand, Confide, Baoba, even GGOPW to an extent, very weird slots, and they only have 10 players, so at least one of them has to play. Definitely some people I think Tlenet knew specifically he wanted to pick up, like tried out with him, and is confident that they're going to do well. But not people I've seen. Like I've not seen GGOPW I've seen in kickoff. I've not seen Baoba or Confide do very much in PU at all. 49 needs subs half the weeks he plays, so between all of that, like there's not much room for anyone to fall off on this team. And the big reason they're ranked so high, like I personally put them below the Meowstick, but I got outranked, and also I'm not objective there. The big reason they're so high is just because Tlenet, Ziri, Luthier, Lopney Kicks, Haste Up is a pretty strong core of 5 people. Like if you need 5 wins a week, yeah,
I'll get it for you.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I also think with just a random side thought actually, I used to tutor Confide back in Oras NU. It was a long time ago, basically. And I'd like to think he's improved as a player since then.
He just hasn't played much since then. He's not been that active. Yeah. That's the thing. Like he was good back in the day.
Recently.
He what recently?
Oh, he only came back recently.
Yeah. That's what makes him a question mark for me. I think he's decent, but and even at that time. Even at that time, he wasn't like a Finch level tour player.
Oh no, absolutely
not. False, didn't he what? Sorry, we started talking over each other. It's my fault. False, didn't he what at the time?
No, I said, didn't he go like really positive in UPL? I'm gonna go check because I'm pretty sure he did. Confide, I mean.
Maybe.
Yeah, Confide went 3-0 in current gen.
In this NUPL?
And then
this most recent
NUPL.
One? This current NUPL.
Yeah, he went 3-0 versus Alvarado, Vivalos, and Tlenet.
Okay, that's not a bad start to come back. Sure.
That's like 3 decent players in new gen that's close to PU. I mean, I think Confide's decent after seeing some of his games, as well as also, what's his name, GGOPW. I watched one game he's played ever. I know he's played a lot more than one game, but in that one game, he played pretty good. So
yeah, he's another player with the kickoff results.
Good, so I'm gonna rate him.
I've played versus him a bit in like Oras and stuff, just friendlies. He's not bad.
Oh, is he gonna be the Oraser?
I don't know. I've only played him in Oras, so
okay.
He's asked for like games. I think that this team could easily again pop off and win. I just think they can do it more consistently than say like the Carcoals or even the Meowsticks, to be honest. But yeah. I rate the team.
Cool. Yeah. Like I said, I think they have more potential to drop off even than maybe I was too fast by saying the Meowsticks, but also a lot of Yeah, potential is the word I keep using. So I think that covers Dracloaks.
Yeah.
Is GGOBW's former avatar Terry Davis?
Let me see. He's also a 1v1er, so that's already a question mark.
That's kind of fire, bro.
I don't know who that is. He is an ICBB.
Yeah, I was gonna say he could be banned.
He's
if
the
he
guy
gets
who
banned.
made Temple OS. He was a programmer. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Sure.
It's like some internet law. Sorry, I thought everyone in here was a loser. Maybe it's just me.
Okay, remembering that he's that 1v1er who got the permalock recently actually kind of makes me rate him a little lower. But sometimes there are very good players who also just spam a lot of shit, so...
I mean, Lobos just got banned for being a racist, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
All right.
Yep.
Number 2 team in this draft, Bwahaha Beartics, managed by Yogurt Bears.
No, managed by Tony Flygon, bro. Let's not get this mixed.
Managed by Togi Flygon. Okay, yeah.
He did pop off at the end.
Yogi's sitting in his armchair, just chilling, just watching his team.
This was a whack draft. Yogi spent a ton of money very early on the combo of Watashi, aka FLCL, and Tasker. A very good starting combo. Then waited with his 68k for years and years and years until he finally had the money to go in. We're all like, are there enough good people for this to be worth it? Did he just save all his money and all the good people passed? Nope, this draft turned out pretty strong looking. Tony's sick, 2 times a tap, can build. Bobby Dagan's sick, Snyder's sick, Snaga's sick, Gafarlicker's sick. Chill Shadow, Byron, and Anti I rate a little lower, but yeah.
You should rate them a lot lower, to be fair, bro. The players above them are really, really good.
Yeah. I think this team just ended up.
That's like the worst. I've never seen a player as bad as Anti. Good lord, Anti's so bad. I would fight Anti IRL.
I would not. Actually, you should probably fight him. He's very good. But you'd definitely win that fight. You wouldn't win the fight against Tasker afterwards. That's for sure.
Okay, Tasker and I should fight, bro. I'm the ultimate Tasker hater.
Have you seen Tasker?
Don't need to. It's all about what's in the mind.
No, I think you need to see Tasker.
Oh no, you need to see Tasker.
Tasker is, what's the word? Hench? Tasker's hench. There's no,
Massive is probably better. He's just huge.
Does that mean like jacked?
Yeah,
he's ripped.
Hench is like a cross between jacked and Chad, I would say.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen Boss, have you seen the video where he knocks out somebody in one punch?
The only video that I've seen is the punching video is Teddy when he punches laptop because he got really mad. I felt so sad. So sad for his laptop, bro. Like, how is Teddy gonna play now? And laptop.
This is how I feel about the Beartics, though. They could definitely just get caught on these random tangents and not do so well. Like their main builder is 2 times the tap and Yogi, and that's it. Pumping out builds for I've not seen Schneider or Snaga or Gafarlicker or Chill Shadow really build for any current gen or SM at all, and they can. Bobby Dagan, I'm sure can build Tony Flygon, but they're still getting into something new there. Not quite the same support. Old gens are also a little weird. Bobby Dagan is the Oras goat, and then I guess Tony DPPs, and they just toss.
Rodri's the Oras goat, huh? Funny how that works. I wouldn't have said that.
I'm sorry, he's the Oras PUPL goat, not the Oras individuals goat. Yeah, but their DPP in black-white could be really good if they throw Tony and FLCL in there, but then that hurts their current gens, and if they throw them in current gens, then
FLCL and old gens, bro. There is no way.
FLCL has gone 5-0 in black-white in the past.
The only way is FLCL decides, no, I'm playing black-white.
There is
no. I don't expect it. I'm just saying if they got to put Gafarlicker or Byron in black-white, I rank that lower. So there's not. Old gens could either be really strong and as a trade-off for current gens, or they could be a bit weaker and current gens look better. But that's a bit of an awkward trade-off there. And they still do need Schneider, Bobby Dagan, etc. are good, but they still do need some of like Gefarlicker and Byron and two times the tap and Anti. Like one of them is going to need to actually start doing well, and they're all a little bit less on the proven. Gefarlicker's good. I've actually teamed with him before, but two times the tap like never plays tours. Anti hasn't played in years. Byron, I don't rate highly. You know.
Anti was the main pick, dude. Don't consider Anti as like a player. Like
no, I know
he subbed in week 7, but
Anti's just a meme pick because he's like, I've already got a good fun team and I want Anti, and that's fine.
Yeah,
I rate that.
But there's 5 good players here. That's all you need. There's Watashi, Tony Flygon, Schneider, Bobby Dagan, and Snaga.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as they can carry Tasker, they'll be fine.
Yeah, I think if you count like the quality of player in this team in comparison to the initial teams that we were talking about, these guys consistently have 5 top class, top quality players fighting for wins. So
yeah.
Well, if you think Tasker's going to have 6.
Yeah.
Easy for you, bro.
There's also
Snugger and Snyder are really good.
Yeah,
Rodri's going to get wins in anything.
There's also there's also the slam effect. Schneider, Snaga, maybe Bobby Dagan, probably Tony, maybe FLCL, maybe Chill Shadow, maybe even Byron. I think they're all like people who would be trying in slam and therefore want to put more effort into like learning current gen PU and that kind of stuff. But yeah, like looking back, Auxiliaries aren't a terrible team, but if you compare like their top 5 people to try to get wins each week to a team like the Bearticks, that's when you see like, oh, the Bearticks are like strong, hench.
I mean, going off the NU thing again, I think all of Watashi, Tony, Schneider, and Snaga all were like top players in the recent NUPL. Like I think all of them were like very, very positive. So I mean,
yeah, this team
there's no way all of them will be bad. It's not happening.
Yeah, this team also has a lot of synergy. Like Chill Shadow and Snagger, I know they wanted to be on the same team together.
Yeah, they've managed SPL together, right?
Yeah, and then Tasker, Yogi, and Anti, they obviously will know each other and will go hard. 2 times tap will literally work with anybody. The guy's the nicest guy I know. So
all but one person.
Yeah, it's like it was so unlikely that FLCL and like Rodri or something would be like, oh, I hate these guys. I'm not going to play for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're right.
I'm teaming. Insane. I'm in finals of LCPL with FLCL right now, and he said like 5 words, but Star just gives him a team, and then he plays and wins, and then that's it. Like you don't need more from FLCL.
I mean, they don't really get in the way, like at the very least. So that's all you need.
And again, Gefarlicker is kind of sick. The same way I rank Keo as being someone who like tosses out random ideas and makes cool teams, despite not being like a PU guy. I've seen Gefarlicker do the same thing. I don't know how well it's gonna work, but like he's good. Like he can definitely add some spice to their sauce.
Yeah, I was actually quite sad during the auction for Yogi because I really wanted to see FLCL and Zabraikan on the same team. Like that was a potential draft combination that I wanted to get, just for like old time Black White 2 NU sake. But yeah, he didn't end up. Like, even though he had like 80k or whatever towards the end, he didn't buy Zabraikan, so I was kind of angry at him.
So I think after we stop spitting into the mic, that brings us to the number one, the oh Jesus, the spit on the mic, the creme de la creme. Once again, it's the returning champions from last year, the Destructive Dedens, managed by our very own co-host H. Jadithan. Oh, and I didn't put Teddy on this image. Kushlos is crossed out, but Teddy's.
No, you did.
Oh no, Teddy's right there. Never mind. I put him in so well that it looked like a part of the image. Anyway, this is the most top heavy team that there's not really a bottom. You've got Hajad. Like let's ignore Teddy and say he's like too demotivated, not doing a lot. Hajad, Finch, Osh, Soulgazer, TKO, Boof, Averardo, and then I don't know exactly how well you order these people. Maybe Metal Gross and P2 are better than some. Yeah, this is just a strong ass team, dude. Like, what do you want me to say?
This is why people.
Why are you studying P2?
Black White.
No, why?
Oh, why? Because nobody else can play Black White. That's
okay.
that's my rule. Every single PUPL, you just draft a random Brit and put them in black white. They'll go 2-2 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Hijad's done
Yeah.
every black white. Or every PPL. I assume Booth is doing DPP again, unless he's going for Slam and
No.
wants to do current gen.
No, he boofs in Sword and Shield. Metal Gross is in DPP.
Oh, Booth even Oras is okay. Metal Gross is DPP. Yeah. Hijad hasn't really bothered with DPP in black white so much, but I don't even really think it matters here.
Variance tiers.
That's
Bro. It's like variance tiers.
Yeah.
That's the smartest way to do it, is spend all your credits on the tiers where skill matters, and then just throw plays in the last two.
Yeah.
And they're not even bad players. Like Metal Gross and P2, they're like Metal Gross has won championships before. P2's won championships before. Like
They'll at least go
decorated players.
even, and your current gen is so good that it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I mean, Oras is also dead strong here between Hijad, TKO, Teddy, and Boof. That's like 4 players who have been very strong in Oras in the past, even though only one of them is going to be in the slot. And then you get to SM and SS. That's like that's crazy, bro.
All right. So the non-Hijad people here have to put an over/under on Teddy's record.
I don't fucking know, dude. He just had to step away from council due to like being busy and not super motivated. But it is also PUPL, and he's on a team with like all his friends, and I can't.
Over/under on 500, because I think he's easily going to have a top record. I don't believe any of this. I think he'll easily do it.
No, yeah, it's a question of if he goes like. It's a question of if he goes like 4-3 or 6-1.
Yeah.
And I would rate him.
He's easily going to be good.
I think there's still a decent chance he only goes 4-3, but I don't even think that hurts the team.
He's such a step above, like, 99% of the people here.
That's the thing.
That's the problem.
Like,
I don't know how motivated Teddy is to go beat like FLCL or Rob Jr., but if you're throwing in Teddy versus Squash 17, I still think he squashes him 17 times.
Just throw him in the old gens at that point and like have a win each week, you know?
Yeah, it's also
But
Oras.
does Teddy even do anything anyway?
If Teddy Oras is also like, does he need to be that motivated? Because Oras is still a weird slot. I think there's gonna be a lot more focus towards building innovation and like strong attention towards SS and SM. But Oras is kind of a weird gen where people have stopped, and if no one's really pushing the meta, then that's what you need to beat Teddy. You need to be pushing the meta and like coming up with bringing in strong stuff and actually trying. And I don't know how much people will do that in the first place.
Like Toxic Booth last year, basically.
Yeah.
Like you really have to be on top of your game if you're gonna out Oras Teddy.
Mm-hmm.
Not even
Bring baton past.
Yeah, somehow bring baton pass.
I've maintained the entire auction that Ted is a 5 to 10k player, just based on his activity and how like motivated and committed he is. That being said, he's still my friend, so I'd still draft him, obviously. And obviously, I made trades and made like. I actually think our original team with Kush was probably a bit stronger than the one with Teddy.
I agree.
Total control with SS and SM, and then Oras, DPP and Black White we just sort of fodder off. But regardless, I think with Teddy, it really comes down to like how well he sort of switched on during the games. Because last year when he played Yedler, Yedler had the perfect matchup, but still threw the game away. It was the most crazy thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
That was the worst.
Yeah.
I've never seen something like that.
The last thing I wanted to say about this team, which that segues into perfectly, I'm someone that I think a lot of mainers would rate as at least like solid and going positive whenever. I've been known to be a big choke artist plenty of the time. You can kind of get away with that in PU, especially in double elimination best of 3 tours. I've thrown fucking games away. You should. I played a game for LCPL yesterday where I just like completely didn't roost on something that I could outstall and almost completely threw away a game that I had 100% win on. I just do that, and I'm working on it. I don't think you've really drafted anyone who has that problem. If they run in with good teams, they can just outplay the other person and beat their pants off. Finch and Soulgazer between them have so much goddamn experience in beating people up in low tiers, it's not even funny. I think the thing that really, really even puts this higher is that like we rated Luthier as like that's a pretty strong part of Tlinet's core. Luthier is still someone who I could see like not managing to strongly outplay someone to take a matchup that's a bit out of his favor. Whereas I always think that like the people on this team, I really rate them as being able to bring so much to their game that you have to be on top of your game to beat them. You cannot make a choke. You cannot just play passive for a win in a slightly advantageous matchup. You have to push that advantage. And that's why I think these guys are scary and make me want to run away and cry.
Yeah, like, well, Fall said it, like, perfectly before, where these people aren't going to give you random Pokemon, right?
Well,
You
maybe
can't just
they
say,
are.
"Oh, I
We
hope
just
he
don't
stays
expect
in."
it.
And, like, they're never going to, which is scary, for sure, for, like, this tour, I guess.
Yeah. Top Snake Records Soulgazer and top everything Finch and top PU player of all time Teddy.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it, Chad. Well,
we do know how you do it. It's because Soulgazer comes up and 4 teams have like 20k more than Hajad, and he still gets to buy Soulgazer for 7k.
Why did that happen?
I don't know.
That was so.
I don't know.
I really hate it, Chad.
I think.
Honestly, I think this draft for me could have gone a little bit better. I actually rated Yogi's position mid-auction when he had like 68k or whatever. I rated his position way higher than mine at the time. I just think he didn't push his advantage mid-auction.
Yogi could have stolen even better players. His draft is still really good, but still some of it is like, I don't rate like 2x and Gefarliger as strong as some of the people he could have just grabbed out, like Yeezy Nose or whatever.
It's because he waited to put Tony in charge. He should have done it as soon as he picked him, and he would have had the best draft by far. But he drafted a couple more before giving the keys over.
Yeah, I don't know what was up there.
100%. No process here. Like if Tony had the wheel at like a certain point, it was over. Like Yogi would have easily had the best team.
For sure.
With all that being said, though, the gap between H-Shad's number 1 team and like 2-3. It's a lot smaller than it was last year.
Because last year.
Last year, yeah.
Like last year, yeah. Last year, everybody just gave me everybody for like 2k, and I was like, yeah, this is fine. That means it was still close. Like the games were close to an extent. Like the finals game was really close.
Oh, the finals were really close. I was more talking about you just dominating every week, though.
Yeah, with like an 8-0 and then a 7-1 and a
you're just week up to like. Finals was week 1 against us, I think.
Last year was that was something. Yeah, I can't reasonably see like Octilleries beating Dedens, but I can reasonably see Dracloaks and Beartix and Meowstick, and even like depending on how much they get their synergy together, Claydolls and Karkles and Clangs and all that, like putting up a decent fight here. It's not the same level of runaway, but it's still Hajad, Teddy, Finch, Soulgazer on one team. It'd be like that. Okay, I know that this is like right before PUPL and not the time where you want to share funny stuff, but is there anything people want to toss out for Hajad's Gimmick Corner for the fans before we shut this down?
Oh shit! I didn't even know we were doing this. Hold on, give me a second.
We don't have to, because like if there's any time to not be giving people free stuff, it's during PUPL when you want all the techs.
I'm sure I have some.
I just throw away.
And also last week we gave away so much stuff. We were talking about like the Glalie and the Dust Noir and whatever the fuck it was. Like we gave so many fucking sets.
Right. Somalia Stall. I have a way of beating it. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Somalia Stall, for those who don't know, Somalia posted a stall RMT. It's stall. Like you can still match up with random things, but it does cover an awful lot of the metagame. Hajad, what are you gonna do to beat this team?
You want to use Subseed, Quiver Dance, Giga Drain, Blossom.
Hmm.
Let me look at the
It
team
works 100% of the time.
Subseed
90%.
yeah. I mean, that would definitely beat the stall. That's just that's seed is interesting there.
You need the seed to beat Puku and Tojtik, I think.
Interesting.
You could go Energy Ball as well. But
Week 1 just went up.
Oh, week 1 just went up. Yep. Week
Yep,
1
just
literally just went up a moment ago. Better check just to see if there's any like crazy different matchups that we weren't expecting, or like lineups. This all looks pretty much expected. Yeah, auxiliaries have ZS starting in DPP. That's interesting.
Dude, I told you that. What?
False is not starting for the
I
auxiliaries.
told you this as well. Bros, were you listening to it? What?
I know. I'm just saying. And they're already number 8. It's not like not starting you could make them drop lower.
Somebody save me, please.
All right, let's run over these pretty quickly. Beartix versus Dracloaks. These are number 2 and 3 teams. Dracloaks are starting Bayoba and GGOPW and DNB. Who are they not starting that I was rating highly? Hey, so no, they're starting. They're not starting Luthier. That's interesting. Yeah, Bayoba is where I would have expected Luthier to be, but otherwise, yeah, okay. That could kind of go either way, but that definitely hurts. Luthier might be able to stand up to LLCL, like maybe, but I can't imagine Bayoba winning. Yeah, Beartix looks stronger here.
Just count to 5. Beartix takes 5.
Yeah. Meowstick versus Carcoals. Yeah, Carcoals look strong versus us. They have to like actually get things together, but like these matchups don't look bad for Carcoals.
Yeah, it's
just like, hey, I think my team can totally do it. Let's go team, but like we rank Meowstick higher, but I don't think there's like a big difference here.
Dude, GA is my like kryptonite in DPP. This will be weird.
Fine, we'll sub you out for Brufasa. It's okay. Fatty's the DPP goat.
Yeah.
Dedens versus Claydolls. Dedens look much better. Claydolls are starting Yandod. I didn't notice that.
Dude, this is a beatdown. What the fuck?
I don't even know who I'm playing. I don't even know this guy.
Yeah, Yandod is the friend of Arusius and Katut, apparently. Who are they not?
Does that matter to you at all, dude? All you use in any tier is just the same team you used like 2 weeks ago. I haven't seen you or Teddy use a new team in like 100 years. When have you ever prepped for someone ever, dude?
Well, it's not that I prep. As soon as you start losing, then you start preparing for the meta again, and then that's when you get your new teams. So like, there was a moment towards the end of the meta where I think it was whilst I was managing you, where Trick Room Jettison became a big thing, and then I started building teams with Trick Room Mashana, and that was like the next beatdown strat.
I was using Trick Room Mashana before you. Fuck that.
Yeah, of course.
They're also not starting.
5 weeks.
Hang on, they're not starting first pick of the draft Lambovino. That's
which is
why did you get him?
Shock considering he was their first pick.
If he's your first pick, he's the first one you went for. You nominated him and bought him and like bid on him. It wasn't just 3K. You went up to 7K. This was clearly intentional. So what's he doing? I have no fucking clue. I don't know.
I don't know if he's a builder or not.
I don't know. I just don't know what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then Octilleries versus Clang Gang. Probably a good team for the Octilleries to start versus, because they could do this, and that would be nice momentum. I like Clangs are definitely favored, but this is not the most unreasonable thing I've ever seen by a long shot. And if they start...
They're favored in every single matchup except for Kush.
I'd say Somalia Lax is a 50-50. I haven't seen anything from Lax in SS, and it could go badly for him, given the building support, so... Maybe
I think Lax, unironically, has top 5 ceiling
in
terms of like the whole of the site.
But they
His
can
ceiling is
steal
so high.
things. They can steal things. Like
Yeah.
Blue IM versus Slowbroth, they could steal that. King Why Not, even ZS, like all the old gens, they could steal that. Lockjaw versus Ajna, that could happen. This is not the
Passion in their
worst.
favor.
Passion is passion. Like if they manage to take this, that would be actually like really huge to start the Octilleries off. And yeah,
Yeah, because they would get one win.
momentum's not nothing. I'm just trying.
I'm not
The way
fan of momentum.
The way Octilleries make playoffs is if they steal a lot of draws and they steal a couple of wins a couple of weeks, like by variance or whatever. Can happen.
What is the marauding Poniards joke? He's on my team. I don't know what it means.
No idea.
I don't know.
Cool and good. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to the unbiased edition of the PUPL 6 Power Rankings. Be sure to tune in next week where we'll do not this, I guess. Yay!